Hey everybody, it's Randy J here. I'm going to give you a little tour of my locomotive roster. This is 6462, it's an F7 Athearn Blue Box. This is the SD9 4317 I've been working on, and you can see the wires are hanging out because I'm putting lights in it. But it's also an Athearn Blue Box. I've had it for quite a while. It's a good running locomotive. I just need to put the lights in it and get it back on the layout. Okay, this is SD45 number 9047, and it is also an Athearn Blue Box. Okay, this is FP45 Amtrak 503 Athearn Blue Box. Runs pretty good. All my locomotives are DCC. Okay, this is one of the Athearn Blue Box. They're actually Jeep 7s, but it's a Jeep 9. Numbered for a Jeep 9. It's a Jeep 9. Okay, this is a Bachmann Spectrum F40PH converted to DCC. It's Amtrak 227. Okay, another one of the Jeep 9s from Athearn Blue Box 3762. Another good running engine. It's been outfitted with the Digitrax decoder, which I did that with most of my Athearn Blue Box. Okay, this is Southern Pacific 2622, which is a Jeep SW1500, excuse me. And it was painted by a friend of mine. It used to be painted in SPSF livery, but I repainted it back into Southern Pacific. This F40PH is a Walther's mainline, DCC and sound. Pretty good running engine. Okay, this one is an Athearn and Jeep 9 torpedo boat, Southern Pacific 3005, and it has sound, as you've heard. You watch my videos, you've heard it. But it's an Athearn Genesis, really good running locomotive. Here's one of the switchers in SPSF full paint. It is a dummy unit Athearn Blue Box. One of these days I'll put a motor in it and start using it. I believe it's an SW1000. This is another Bachmann Spectrum, converted from DC to run DCC. It's also a pretty good running locomotive. You see it every once in a while on the layout. This is an F7B Santa Fe, what's that say, 115? It's an Athearn Blue Box. One of these days I'll put a motor in it. I've got a motor for it, I just haven't put it in. One of these days. There's another Athearn Blue Box F7 6458 Southern Pacific. And it's powered DCC. Okay, this one's a dummy unit, Jeep 9 3873. You rarely see this one on the layout. I don't really run it that much. But I still do have a few dummy units. You'll be seeing them as I go here. This F40PH is Amtrak 231. It's a Walters train line. It runs pretty good. This is my one and only CDTX locomotive. It's an F59 PHI, and it's an Athearn converted to DCC. This P32 is a dummy, but I have used it back when the club was out there at the mall. I put it behind a powered locomotive, and so you guys got to see that in some of my past videos. I do have one that's powered, and it's coming up here. This SD45 is a Bachmann, and it can be run on DC or DCC. It did take a fall, and I'm missing the grills, the dynamic brake grills on the other side, so I'll have to fix that later. I'm not sure it's running right now. I haven't had it on the layout in quite a while. This tunnel motor is a Athearn Blue Box. Athearn Blue Box, excuse me. Number 8326. Runs good. I put a new horn on it. That's why you see the horn is not black like it's supposed to be. But I'm not sure if it's an SD45 T2 or an SD40 T2. I can't tell. I believe it's an SD40 T2. Several years ago, I had a whole fleet of these SPSF painted locomotives, and people wanted them, and they bought them off me, so I only have a few left. This one happens to be a dummy. It's 1929. At one time I had a book on the SPSF merger, and it listed their numbering of what all the locomotives were going to be renumbered to, and I'll be doggone if I can't find that book. So I'm not sure if it's got the right number on it for SPSF Jeep 9, or what would have been. But like I said, I had a whole fleet of these things on my other layout some 35 years ago. Okay, this GP38 4824, I'm working on it, so that's why the shell is on properly. It used to have an icicle breaker on the top in the up position, and that got broken, so I put it in a down position because I had two in a package, and that one got broken, so now it no longer has the icicle breaker. But that's what used to pull the plows up in Truckee for the Sierra snow fighting. Before that it was the SD9s. And UP still uses these locomotives for snow removal up on Donner Pass. It is powered DCC, of course. This is Santa Fe 367, an F7 Athearn Blue Box. DCC, of course, you've seen it run around the layout a little bit. I need to get that other B unit powered up so that I can con-system together, because it has a hard time pulling my Santa Fe train. Here's the Santa Fe F7 dummy. number 356. I can put a motor in it too and consist all three of those F7s to pull my Santa Fe unit, my Santa Fe high levels, and the other cars I have from Santa Fe. And they could be running the Rainbow era of Amtrak. So looking forward to doing that. Future project. This is another one of the SW1500s. It's a Athearn Blue Box. This one is a dummy. Sometimes I haul that around with the other SW1500 that's on the layout. But most of the time it stays off. Believe it or not, this is SP2286 and SW1000. The body for it, or the shell, is at a friend's house awaiting painting. So it'll be on the layout pretty soon. I just need to put a chip on it. I've got the chip, I just haven't got around to putting it on. Again, another Athearn Blue Box. Okay, this is a Santa Fe number 5998. It will be painted in the Kodachrome paint scheme. As you see, as you can tell, I've already painted the red. I just have to do the yellow. Just haven't got around to it. But it's powered, it runs. I can hardly wait to show it to you when it's finished. This is an Athearn Blue Box Jeep 40. I think it's the only Jeep 40 I have. Numbered 7622. It doesn't get much time on the layout for some reason. Maybe I'll put it out there here pretty soon and run it. Maybe you'll see it in the next video. This is another Athearn Blue Box. It's one I repainted. It's a P42. Repainted in number 145. I believe this is a 40th year celebration of Amtrak, because they're now in their 50th. Don't have any 50-year ones yet. Maybe someday. Okay, this is one you never see on the layout because it's a dummy, and my layout's too small to run trains long enough for two locomotives. So you rarely see me double head locomotives, unless of course they're F7s, because the F7s are gutless. But this little guy here, he's a dummy unit. It could be repowered. One of these days I can put a motor in it. I may have a motor for it now. I don't know. I'll have to go look. Anyway, that's it. The Amtrak 508. This here used to be a Union Pacific SD40, but it's being repainted into Amtrak Southern Pacific 7523. Another paint project that I haven't got to finish yet. No. It is powered. DCC. Okay, this is a P40 General Electric. Amtrak number 824. It is an Athearn Blue Box, and it is DCC and powered. This is another one of my favorite engines. It's a Jeep 40 P2, Jeep 40 P2. I don't remember. Anyway, it's got issues right now, so there's no couplers on it. That means I got to work on it some more. I thought I had it fixed, and then I got frustrated to put it back in the box. I don't know how many of you have that problem, but yeah, sometimes I get frustrated with them. I just put them in the box and then come back to them, sometimes a year later. Anyway, that's the Jeep 40P. Athearn. Genesis DCC. This is my first Athearn, Yeah, Athearn Genesis. It came in just DC. I purchased the Soundtrack sound card, installed it, runs great, except I burned up a headlight, so I got to replace the bulb in it. You saw it running a few videos ago. Good looking locomotive, nice runner. Okay, here's a big SD 45T2, number 9318. It's an Athearn. Love the Kodachrome paint scheme. This is another SD45T2. It's my only cotton belt locomotive so far. I'm sure I'll get more sooner or later. It's painted up for the Spirit of 76. SSW 9389. This is a Kraus Maffei. I'm not sure who manufactured it, but it's got a pancake motor in it, and I don't even want to try to power this thing up and change it to DCC. It might run as a DC unit, I don't know. Maybe when we set up the Christmas tree this year, I'll put the train around it and see if that'll run on track. I don't know. I don't guarantee it will, but as you can see, it's undergoing some painting. I need to letter it, and it's just going to sit in the yard somewhere on a dead track that's not powered. So it's basically just for looks, but I had to have it. This is my very first DCC and sound locomotive. I bought it directly from Athearn, and it worked really well until a year or so ago the chip burned out. So right now I've installed a regular Digitrax in it to see if I can at least run it around the layout. As you can tell by the wire hanging out underneath above the tank there. I'm still working on it. I got the headlights in it working, I got everything was working, and then everything stopped. And then it would work on the test track, and then I put it on the big layout, it wouldn't run. So, I don't know. It's a work in progress. One of these days I'll buy another sound card for it and reinstall the speaker and get new lights for it again. I think I burned them up already. Okay, this is an Athearn ready to roll. Prime for grime. Number 5316. DCC. Yeah, this is the Alco PA you guys have been seeing on the layout. This is a lifelike. And as you can tell, I'm replacing the air horn with a 5-chime. I don't think it had a 5-chime on it. But it's a good running engine. There are a few other locomotives that I don't have here. They're at a friend's being painted, and I'll show you those when I get them. For now, Randy J saying, I hope you enjoyed my locomotive roster and the video, and I will see you on the flip side.